How's it going, guys? It's K Cars, and in this video I want to talk to you guys about why you should 100% buy a Jeep Cherokee XJ if you are interested in them. So in this video I'm going to go over my XJ that is right behind me over here, and then we're going to also check out some very clean examples of XJs that are going for like $30,000 right now, which is completely insane. So definitely going to be a pretty interesting video, and I hope you guys enjoy. So starting off here right behind me, like I said, this is my 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ. I feel like I got a really good deal on it. I got it about a year and a half ago. It's the last year that they actually produced these XJs. These were actually produced from 1984 up until 2001. So you guys are probably wondering how much I paid for this thing. So it was actually $3,500. It was on Marketplace for 2 days, 100% stock, very well maintained. It had 103,000 miles on it. So it was a very clean example of basically what a perfect XJ would be and what you would want to buy if you are planning to hold it for value, or just hold it to have a good clean XJ like this one. To start off, like many of you guys probably know, these XJs do have their rust problems. This one actually did have a patch of rust right over here on the rear side of the driver's side rocker here. So it wasn't a hole just yet whenever I got it, but I tried just sanding it off and eventually just poked out a hole. Had to get that replaced. As you guys can see, see the bottom right there, it's definitely a whole lot cleaner now, basically rust free. Now if we go to the other side wasn't as bad as the driver's side. Whenever I first got this thing, it just had a few little patches, but we also got this side replaced as well. You can see very clean underneath as well. So another common area for rust are the rear lower quarter panels back here. So we did get those replaced as well. As you can see, pretty clean overall underneath. The only area that I did not touch up yet is the rear bumper. You can see it does have some rust. If you look on Facebook Marketplace now, prices are skyrocketing, and they have been skyrocketing for like the past year or the past 2 years. I think I got really lucky with the price on this Jeep and the condition of it. These things are definitely increasing in value like a crazy amount. I kind of want to compare it to the old Bronco. I don't really know too much about them, but you guys know the brand new Bronco just came out, and of course it's an amazing vehicle, but I'm sure all the actual enthusiasts of the Bronco would 100% prefer to have the old one over the new one. And I'm 100% sure that the same thing is true for these Cherokees. I would 100% prefer to have an old Cherokee than the new Cherokee, because I don't really think anybody who likes these XJs would like the new Cherokees. I was not aware of the value that these Jeeps could hold whenever I was first searching for them and whenever I first got it. The whole idea whenever I got this Jeep was that it was going to be like my off-road toy, or like an off-road only rig, and that I would destroy it within like the first few months of owning it. But after I actually got it, and after I posted some videos and actually realized how rare these things are getting and how much of value this thing can hold and actually increase, I decided to just go ahead and fix it up and actually keep it nice and clean. Now I know there are a few hardcore Jeepers out there that kind of cringe when they hear people say that they're going to keep their Jeeps clean. I kind of understand that for like new Jeeps, because like new Jeeps, you know, you can go out and get a new one. Like they're still making the new Jeeps. They don't make these things anymore. So that's the whole reason why I want to kind of like preserve this Jeep and keep it nice and clean. And you know, it's not like I'm keeping it nice and clean for resale value, or like to keep it nice and clean for it to be nice for the next owner, because I'm not planning on selling this Jeep anytime ever. Like, I do want to keep this thing my whole life as long as I can. You know, if I do get a chance to go off-roading with this thing, just do some light off-roading, then yeah, I'll definitely do that, because that's what these things are made for, and it's a lot of fun taking these things off-road. I have taken this Jeep off-road a few times, but you know, nothing crazy. I have driven it through like a few snowstorms and a little, like a light muddy trail, but that's about it. And I'm not planning on doing anything crazy with this Jeep. So if we just take a quick walk around here around my Jeep, you guys will see that it's very clean, very well maintained. You know, and I didn't get it like this. Like, it definitely took work to make it this clean, but it's like, if you can save a Jeep like this, then I would definitely recommend it. Now obviously, if you're just getting a Jeep to just build like an off-road rig, then you don't have to get a clean one like this. You can just get a cheap one for like 500 or $1,000 if you don't care what it's going to look like. There definitely is a lot of gloss in the paint here, as you guys can see that. Very minimal rust. You can see all new suspension parts on there as well. You know, basically no areas of the paint are faded. There are a few chips in the paint, like on the hood, but that's about it. Like, there's really, you know, I mean, it has its flaws and everything, but it's a very clean example of, at least I would consider this a very clean XJ right here. And I'll be completely honest with you guys, I'm getting to the point where sometimes I'm even like worried to drive this thing or like park it out in public, just because of how rare these things are and how far up they're increasing in value. And I think somewhere I did read that the Jeep Cherokee XJ is the most like robbed car, or like the most stolen car. So definitely getting a little bit worried, but you know, to most people this thing is just an old Jeep, like a junk Jeep. So hopefully that'll steer people away from stealing this thing or messing with it out in public, and hopefully I don't actually have to be worried about that. Now, as for why they are skyrocketing in value and why they're becoming so popular for off-road and Jeep enthusiasts, I think one of the reasons is reliability. Now, saying reliability, that doesn't mean like you can just buy an old Jeep XJ, not do anything to it, and have it last like 100,000 miles without doing any kind of like repairs or maintenance. If you do get one with the 4-liter inline-6 engine, you guys probably all know these things are basically bulletproof as long as you maintain them and repair anything that needs to be repaired or replaced. So that's, I'm not saying that like you can get a Jeep and not repair anything. As you guys know, if you've been following along with my channel, I have done a good bit of repairs to this thing and just general maintenance. So as long as you keep up with that, these things are extremely reliable. At least in my experience, this one has been. Another reason why I think these Jeeps are skyrocketing in value and why they're so popular is because of how good they look. Now, of course, to any regular person, somebody that just drives practical cars, you know, from point A to point B, this thing probably looks terrible to those people. Like, it's just an old junk Jeep. Like, why would you like that? But that just makes it so much better, because that means we get to keep more of these things for ourselves. So this thing right here has a 3-inch lift on 31-inch mud tires. I think this is definitely the best looking setup for these old Jeeps. Even if you're not going to off-road it, it definitely does look very good lifted and with bigger tires. Of course, they also do look good stock. But you know, in my opinion, I just think they look a lot better with this current setup that I have right here. Now, the majority of the XJs that you're gonna find on, you know, Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or anything like that are gonna be Jeeps that people have beat up. You know, they have a whole bunch of rust. The whole underside is covered in mud and rust. It has a whole bunch of dents, bunch of problems. It's probably been like chopped up to fit like bigger tires and all that fun stuff. So like I said, it definitely is becoming extremely difficult to find actual clean Jeeps, like if you're looking for a stock one. So I mean, getting one that is like chopped up or not in good shape, you know, it can be a good thing because you can get a really good deal on those, and that would be a good starting point if you're just looking to get it like an off-road rig. Then yeah, I do think that would be a good idea, because you could save a whole bunch of money, and you know, you wouldn't have to buy a clean one if you're just going to make it an off-road rig. So in my experience, whenever I was looking to get an XJ about 1.5 years ago, I was searching for around 2 to 3 weeks before actually purchasing this one. If I wanted to buy a Jeep like this for the same price, in the same condition, with the same mileage, same year, all that, I don't even think I would be able to find one like that like 1.5 years later. I would guess that I would probably have to spend around like $6,000 to $10,000 if I wanted to find one in this condition, like exactly like this, 100,000 miles, the later years of production, 2001, no rust, clean, all that type of stuff. So it just shows you that these things are definitely going up in value, becoming more and more rare. And if you want to find one like this, if you do find one, definitely go ahead and snatch it up if you can. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and actually take a look at some of these Jeeps for sale here, and show you guys how much they've actually appreciated over the past few years. So like I said, mine is a 2001 and I got it for $3,500. So this first one right here is pretty similar. It's priced at $3,750, also a 2001. Mileage is around 124,000. And let's go ahead and look at the condition of it here. So if we can pull up some pictures, you can see it looks pretty good on the inside. You know, pretty clean right there. A little bit of, I don't know what that is, dirt on the inside maybe, just need to get it detailed up a little bit. But then once you actually get a good look over here, you can see it is starting to rust down below here on the rear lower quarter panel. Like I was saying, it's also missing this little fender piece right over here. We can look at some more exterior pictures, you know, same thing. And it's not stock, you guys can see that bumper right there. You know, it's missing the front bumper end caps, has a good bit of rust here on the side as well. Yeah, it's missing the rear bumper end caps too. The interior doesn't look too bad, but as you guys can see, I think my Jeep was actually in much better condition than this one right over here. And they're about the same price. This one's a little bit more, the mileage is higher, and it's in worse condition. So that's a perfect example of, you know, how the Jeeps are going up in value. So, you know, it's the worst condition Jeep, but they're asking more. And then as we look at some more of these Jeeps here, you can see this first one right here is basically the only one under like $8,000. You can see this one's like $17,000. It's a 2001. Low mileage, 83,000. Let's take a look at it here. I mean, it looks very clean. I don't see any rust. It has all the parts, clean interior. You can see the seat is kind of cracking. Right over here, that's pretty common as well. But yeah, overall, the interior does look pretty clean. Engine bay looks very good as well, very clean. Something that I need to do to mine, because mine is pretty dirty. But yeah, I mean, this one is very clean, you know, low mileage, 2001, for $17,000. So, alright, so those were like some of the regular Jeeps. That's like normal for these days. Now let's go ahead and look at classic.com. And let me show you guys some of these other pretty clean examples that I found on here. So this 1996 sold for $29,000 just about a month or two ago. So let's go ahead and look at this thing. 1996, that's actually the last year of the previous generation that I have. So they made these versions from 1984 to 1996, and they made the newest generation of the XJ was produced from 97 up until 2001. So, you know, this one's extremely low mileage. You can see 30,000 miles on this one. Blue looks extremely clean, has all the body parts. I don't see any rust on here. You can see it's highly original. Yeah, I mean, as close to factory as possible. Yeah, I mean, $29,000 for that thing. That's pretty insane if you ask me. See on the side here, all of these are extremely expensive. They're all in the 20s, over $20,000 here. The most expensive one was that first one for $29,000. We can keep going down here. You can see they're all in the 20s. Here they're going to 19. Yeah, I mean, here's a 2001. We can look at this one. 140,000 miles. This one's obviously lifted, definitely modified. $17,000. So, and this whole website is filled with XJs that are very clean, but also very expensive, as you guys can see. And they have a good bit of them too. So, I mean, if you guys are looking for clean XJs and you don't mind spending a lot of money for these things, then definitely check out classic.com because they have a good amount here. As you guys can see, we're still scrolling down here. They have a good selection of completely stock ones as well as modified ones. Now, if you ask somebody 20 years ago how much these Jeeps would be worth today in 2021, I would probably guess that people would say like $500, because like in 20 years you wouldn't really expect a vehicle like that to actually skyrocket in value like these have been. So you guys can see these examples that I just showed you guys, those were very clean, either stock or modified, but they range from like 10,000 to 30,000 for very clean ones and low mileage ones as well. So yeah, I mean, definitely skyrocketing in value. And if you guys can find a Jeep that's clean, definitely snatch it up if you can. All right guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video of me talking about my Jeep Cherokee XJ experience and why I think these things are skyrocketing in value and why I think you should definitely get one if you can find a clean one. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or video suggestions for videos you would like to see in the future, make sure to drop those down in the comments below. And if you guys liked this video or found it entertaining, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.